Yo, what's good? NBA YouTube. It's your man 100 grand, Ross with The Rock Never Stops. What up, y'all? It's a beautiful morning. And today I want to talk about these Golden State Warriors and their outlook. If you like this video, I want you to smash this like button for me, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. And you can holler at me also on Twitter at Rock Never Stops 2. That's the number 2 at the end. I wanted to talk about this Golden State Warriors team because they're doing something that's showing me that they're coming of age. And when I say coming of age, it's not so much the core three, Steph, Clay, Draymond. We know who they are. We know what they do. They're battle tested, tried, approved. They are 100% certified, the goods. They are champions. They are Hall of Famers. They are all-stars. They're creme de la creme. But who is actually I'm referring to when I say coming of age, as you might be able to insinuate, are the young pups. Those who haven't been there before. The Jordan Pooles, the Andrew Wiggins, Moses Moody, Damian Lee, Gary Payton III, even Kayvon Looney to an extent. You got guys like Jonathan Kuminga. You've got guys who have not been to the mountaintop yet. Guys who have not seen the glory, have not tasted it, nor have they seen the terror, the fear, the moments where they refer to as deer in the headlights. They get stunned by the packed out arenas, nationally televised games of each playoff game. They haven't been in that environment where everything you do is going to matter. Every rebound you get or miss, every box out, every screen, every transition play. They don't know what that moment is yet. And yet this last game against the Milwaukee Bucks showed me something. Despite the fact that it was at home, we all know they play far better at home. And when I say they, the young pups, once again. But what's significant is against who they were playing against. And it's not so much just who, it's a culmination of multiple who's. The multiple victories that they've been able to accumulate against other contending teams. Beating Phoenix, beating Milwaukee, beating the different teams that could potentially scare them one day. They may have to walk into their arena. They may have to look across at a player who's been there as well, who's itching to get back, who's looking to exploit every mismatch and every opportunity of ignorance and not knowing how to know what fouls you're going to get called and which ones that you can get away with and how to make the right play at the right time so that by the end you're up 6 instead of down 2. This is what they're going to walk into, the gauntlet of the playoffs. Now, one thing that's been encouraging is that Draymond Green is returning and should be returning close to full strength in terms of his physical body. He shouldn't be too labored. I think the Golden State Warriors have been wise enough in his rehab to not rush him back at all. Now, this should help because we all know that Draymond Green is the engine that really propels Clay and Steph. I do think the final piece, though, is getting Andre Iguodala back. They need his leadership on the court, on the bench, in the locker room. They need that savvy, that know-how to make the difference between that 4 to 5 points in a game down the stretch. But I think with the core, they have as good a chance of anybody at getting out of the West. I don't see really anybody impeding them outside of maybe a Dallas Mavericks or a Phoenix Suns. But the pups, the young guys, those who haven't been to the mountaintop, the Jordan Pooles, Andrew Wiggins, Gary Payton III, Damian Lee, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, and even the soon-to-return James Wiseman. How will these guys respond? How will they show up in the moment? And to be honest, I've communicated overwhelmingly, I don't trust guys who have not been there yet. They show me signs of what they're potentially capable of, but until you see them under the bright lights, you don't necessarily know what they're going to look like. Plenty of stars fade in the bright lights. We've seen James Harden do it. We've seen many of players do it. Ben Simmons and others. And so the regular season is a great place to build up that confidence, build up that resiliency, and that belief in oneself that they can perform at a high level. And yet, we'll be waiting. We'll be waiting. And so right now, what I'm waiting for is these playoffs to begin. But as they encroach upon the playoffs, I'm also looking to see how they're going to manage the minutes. I know this Jordan Poole experiment in the starting lineup is really to see if he could be in a closing lineup in the playoffs. That's what this really is. Once Draymond returns, he'll go back to his bench role, more than likely. But what we will see is, in a closing lineup in the playoffs, can he be relied upon? Andrew Wiggins is almost the incumbent starter down the stretch closer. But I'm also curious to see guys like Jonathan Kuminga, who have been absolutely beastly off the bench. And if I'm honest, I'm far more excited about and have far more faith in the future outlook of Jonathan Kuminga than I do even in the present outlook of Andrew Wiggins. And so down this stretch, I think we're going to see more Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, and James Wiseman. They want to get them revved up because they know this is a special time. This is a special moment. These players are their future. And so they want to be able to make sure that they incorporate them as much as possible to get the invaluable experience that I referenced at the beginning of this video. The know-hows, being able to understand situations, make winning plays, that box out rebound, screen, backdoor cut, finishing around the rim in a pressure situation. They need to make sure that these young players are not just prepared, but they're also confident. That when they walk into the next moment, they're not going to be hesitant. They're not going to be fearful. They're going to have a strong sense of direction so that as Clay, Steph, and Draymond Green, in no particular order, leads the way, they know how to follow. They know how to follow. And if anything that I've seen, Steve Kerr is a nice blend between let's play our veterans who've been here, and at the same time we understand we have to bring in and incorporate these young guys. And so I expect, more than expect, Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga to be allowed to eat away the minutes of people like Damian Lee. But at the same time, they're going to have to earn it because they're going to play the long game in this. If they need another season, though, they're more than happy to give their rookies or a sophomore big some more time. And this is where Steve Kerr's chess match is going to begin. Because when he has to go into the playoffs, he's going to have to show his coaching chops, his rotations, play calling, getting guys in position, not his main guys, but the guys who haven't been there before. Can he elevate them with his strategies and with his game management? We'll see. I want to know what you all think. Do you think these young pups are ready to support the big three? How far do you think that they'll go? Hit me up on Twitter at Rock Never Stops 2. That's the number 2. Or you can hit me up in the comment section. I definitely respond. Until then, I look forward to the next video. Let me know what you want to hear. I'm thinking about a Raptors video. Holla at me. I'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.